Hello, this is Sprocket314, and finally I'm gonna show you the deck that I used at the Vault Tour, and it got me almost qualified. I think I should have qualified. It's just that good. I was really lucky. So the first thing I want to say, well, the name is Wantonly Torpid Jasmine, and these are the spoils. I also play spoils, so it's the spoils card sleeves. So the one I want to say, the one thing I want to say is that it has three houses, which are shadows, logos, and this. But with this deck, just playing this and maybe a little bit of shadows, it's enough. I barely really played any logos. I just won with this and shadows, and I saw this kind of combination happen a lot. Um, During the tournament that you just play distant shadows and people will just win with that. And the third house, whatever it is, you have a one big turn for that to get it out of the way, and then you keep playing distant shadows. So that's something I noticed at a pattern that I noticed at the Vault Tour. So maybe something to keep in mind. I believe the winning deck had distant shadows as well, and Untamed I think it was. So just keep that in mind that these and shadows in Age of Ascension is pretty strong. Okay, so let me tell you the combo that I played, and I mentioned many times, but I couldn't say exactly, what was happening, right? So the key thing for this deck is that it has three, not one or two, but three hysteria. Okay, so hysteria, what it does is return every creature back to the owner's hand, both the opponent's and mine. Okay, because and I will tell you, let's start with the opponent. So the opponent suddenly has invested a lot of their turns building up this massive board, which is very important in Age of Ascension, and it has been playing all these different houses, right? Creatures from the three houses. Now everything is going back to the hand, which means no new cards from the deck are gonna ever be drawn because you have loads of cards in your hand, so no more new cards are gonna happen for a long time. That's really good. That's advantage number one. The board is wiped, right? Well, it's back to your hand, so that's advantage number two. And then the timing, right? It takes to build up again the board. It takes at least normally three turns to put the three different houses, all the creatures from there. So it's like three advantages, right? And it has more advantages as well. Um, for example, for my side, it did combine very well with the next few cards, which is basically I had two Schulers, right? So if the opponent has four or more, I still won. So I will play Schuler, and because it's a play ability, I will steal one. Then I will play another Schuler, and then I will steal another one, and then I will do Hysteria, take it back to my hand, and then play again, steal. Obviously, this stops when the opponent has three amber. This stops being useful. But the good thing is that usually I have for sure I will have one Hysteria in my hand almost all the time, right? Or I archive it. You will see that I have logos, so I archive it later. So I will have Hysteria waiting for you, right? And then the opponent is building at the board, is ready to do his own thing, right? And then they have lots of amber. I let him get the amber. Now it's very difficult to get amber though if you have three amber imps, right? Because when you reap, then you get stunned. So I will make him do all this painful process, right? And then I will just steal. And the good thing is that first I will, because I will have this in play, I will rip. So I get three amber for that. They will get stunned. Then I use Hysteria, right? So they come back to my hand. And then I do the Schulers, steal. So I already have loads of amber, right? And then I play them again. So the guy cannot rip without getting stunned. So it was this combo Hysteria Schuler Amber Imp was the killer combo, and because I have three of each except the Schuler. If I had a third Schuler, that would be incredible, right? But with two, it was enough. It was enough. So I won most of my games, and you guys know if you play me, I played this over and over, and it was pretty much game over. You could not reap. If you read, you get stunned, then it sends you back to your hand. So you only ever reap once. Sometimes I will have to um, encourage the guy to reap, or to play cards or whatever to generate amber so I can steal it. So it was very, very interesting. It's a good problem to have. Then I also have Gap to protect my creatures. Normally I protect the Amber Imps because they're trying to kill them. I have Tentacles, so I'm getting Amber every time the opponent is playing artifacts. I have Call the Weak, which was really funny in my games because I was playing this card when first turn my opponent plays Lolop the Titanic, and he's so smug, right? Even sometimes it's Lolop the Titanic plus um, um, Blood of Titans with a +5, and even my friend Steve Chalik, he played Lord of the Titanic and two Blood of Titans, so it was like a 21, and then I just played this card, and it was the weakest. It was 21 power, and it was the weakest, so it was quite interesting. I also have Poltergeist, so I can then use and destroy an artifact from the opponent or myself. And that was the very strong disc. I was very, very happy. To be honest, this deck I think is like is so good. It's just so good. It's not super flashy. It doesn't have like flashy stuff, but it's very effective. So I'm really enjoying this, and I want to play online once it becomes available to see how much of a winning rate I get with that. I might get bored because it's so good. Then for logos, I have Titan Librarian. I always forget to do the effect, so I recommend, at the end of your turn, if Titan Librarian is not on a flank, archive a card. So that was pretty good to archive all my hysterias, all the things that I need to wait for it to happen. I have the Professor. I love the Professor, but I played, I don't know how many games I played, 6 rounds, and I never got to use his ability because he got instantly killed. I, on the other hand, Hexpion is one of my favorite cards. It's amazing. So I keep archiving the top of my deck, and itself is fantastic. Um, um, it's like immortal pretty much, and then I get extra cards over and over. So it was fantastic. I could cycle through my deck once or twice in a game. I have Pip Pip, and Pip Pip is the same as the Amber Imp, but only for the enemy creature, so that's pretty good. I had Igor. Igor let me look at the top three cards and get to keep one and discard the other two. I also have Osmo Martianologist. I never used it very well. I mean, to be honest, I never did much with him because I don't have Mars. And if I wasn't playing against Mars, then it wasn't very useful. I have Rocket Boots. The only problem I have is I have so many Amber Imps that I could not. If I rip, then it gets stunned, and then I can rip again just to, well, yes, I can remove the stun, but but I have to fight, right? If I rip again, then I rip to remove the stun will stun it again. So it's not very useful. It's anti-synergetic. And then I have remote access, so I can use an opponent artifact as impose mine. And this is I really enjoy this card, Entropic Swirl. So I choose a creature. It can be my own creature as well if I need to. So for every trait the card has, and normally you have one, but there is many instances where you have two. You get 2 damage to that creature and gain 1 amber per trait. So it could be the sweet, double effect where I get to destroy a card normally, and also I get 2 amber. So it's fantastic. And then we have Sloppy Lapwork to clean up my hand and give me archive and give me a pip and 2 Lapworks. So yeah, a lot of archiving. So it was pretty cool. And then we go into shadows. So into shadows, I have Snake Lifter, and you can see that I have a lot of artifact control, and that's one of the reasons why I chose this deck. One of the many reasons. So I could steal an artifact. I had 2 Lamindras, which was really good because it starts making everything elusive, and they have deploy. I had 2 running risk clocks to start steal. So it's great. I have 2 Knuckles Bolton, which are elusive and skirmish, so I can fight a little bit if I want to. And then I have Swindle, so I can steal 3 more. So you can see where am I going with this deck, right? I have the Dash Runner, so if I rip, I steal. But normally, because I cannot rip because of my things, but I got to use it once or twice. Nerf Blast, damage and steal again. So steal. The Ring of Invisibility, skirmish and elusive. So basically, almost everything was elusive in my deck. And finally, Life for a Life, which I sacrifice normally running risk clocks. So that was my deck. I think you agree. You can leave it in the comments. How good is this deck? I mean, this is amazing. Is the super fun to play. Very annoying for the opponent. I apologize, but it's just such a good deck. You know, I have it in my best sleeves. You know, this is the best, right? And then I wanted to show you. I told about you in the previous video that I have this super deck with three Archimedes, right? So it's this deck. It's the Gnosis, Dulce, the Smallish, and Spine, okay? So let's go. Let's see how much archiving and stuff we have. So I have another deck. I have another deck that has a lot of archiving. Maybe it doesn't have Archimedes, but it's incredible. I have to find it. I have to find it. It's just archive, 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 archive. So we have Research Moko, archive the top card of your deck when it gets destroyed. So that's one. Remote access to access the artifact. Memory chip is auto archive. Every time you choose logos, you archive a card. Okay, but you archive at the beginning of the turn, right? You choose your house, then you archive the card, then you can pick up your archive if you want. So it's basically an extra card if you want. And then I have two standardized testing to start wiping the board. So that's pretty good. It could be very damaging as well. One of the professors, they always die. I never get to play it. I mean, I get to play, but they never survive. Library of Bubble to draw more cards. Igor to have a look at the top three. I get one discard two. Cutthroat Research is difficult to pull off, but you get the pip anyway. And then the Crown Jewel, three Archimedes, right? Three Archimedes where they are too elusive, and every Archimedes neighbor gains destroyed, archive this creature. So basically they become immortal. And why this is important? Because I have Witch of the Wilds, right? So that I can house cheat, I can play an Untamed card every time I don't choose Untamed. And then I have very interesting two, not one, but two Soldiers to Flowers. I know that this was a key to winning some of the knockout matches in the Voltor final. And yes, you purge Untamed creatures for every player discard pile, and then you gain a number for that. So that's pretty powerful and quite damaging against Untamed. I have Untamed, obviously, so it could be damaging to me. But the good thing is that you can, hinder the opponent or time it, And then I have not one but two persistence hunting. So basically, it's the same as what's the name? There is one in Sanctum, I think, that does this. So basically, exhaust this enemy creature of the chosen house. So this is even better because it gives you a pip, and also it's only enemy creatures, not everybody on the. I think it's the blinding light from Sanctum that gives you one amber, and you choose a house and stone all of them, even yours. One Marmot Swarm, which is always good if you have a lot of amber. And then not one, not two, but three Glimmer. And I lost my qualifying match against Josh, I think it was, because he kept doing this combo where he played an alpha. The problem is because he's three alphas, right? It's three of them and they're all alpha. So, but it sort of guarantees that you're going to have one in your hand. And when you play, you return a card from your discard pile to your hand. Any card, okay? Any card. So this is super powerful. So that's that. And then I have Fang House, right, which is hard to kill. 3, Assault 3, Hazardous 3. And then I have Dust Witch, okay? So I can keep bringing her back with a Glimmer. So that's pretty good. And then I have finally Niffle Grounds. Basically, you make lose elusive and taunt for a creature. Then we go to Mars. And Mars, there is a very interesting cards in Mars. Unluckily for me, in this deck, I don't have my favorite cards. I have some of them, but not my favorite cards. First of all, I have a Maverick, Lion Bautrem from Sanctum in Mars. Okay, so that's a quite interesting one. Then this one, which is the first time I see it, is the Entropic Manipulator. So basically, you choose a player, could be yourself or could be normally the opponent, and then you can redistribute the damage from all the creatures. So that means that you can basically start killing around people. Zorg, which is okay, not my favorite, but it's okay. The Zookeeper, it's very fun to play always. Orbital Bombardment is always good to reveal your hand and start doing direct damage. How about Hypnobeam? Hypnobeam gain control of an enemy creature, and it's not an upgrade. Fantastic. The Dominator, just to protect your creatures, so that's also always good. You can protect your Zookeeper there. And then, not one but two, Beam Bucklers. When you play, deal 2 damage to a creature and move it to either flank of this controlled battle line. It's a nice to have, okay? And the thing is, this can combine with Glimmer, although you cannot play on the same turn, but you can keep it bringing it back. How about Mass First? It's like Inspiration, gives you 1 pip, ready and use a friendly mass creature. So that's pretty cool. And you have the Proliferator. When you rip, if the Proliferator is on a flank, archive a mass card from your discard pile, so you can start recycling things. And finally, Agent Human, which is wishy-washy. You know, it can be good, it can be bad, but you know, it's okay. Stable agent. So yeah, that's cool. So it's a very fun deck that I haven't played yet. So I'm very happy about it, and I really want to have a go. So that was all for today. And in the next episode, I'm going to show you my Time Traveler deck for Age of Ascension with 18 Direct Amber, which is crazy. And I'm going to show you my 3 shard deck, which is good, but it's a little bit slow. So I'm very excited. It can be quite devastating to have the 3 shards. I played it quite a bit now, but it can be a little bit too slow. So we will see on the next episode. So like and subscribe, leave comments, the bell, all these kind of things. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will keep showing you more and more interesting decks. Cool. Bye.